Hello, and welcome back to the farm. So it's October. Um, I don't know why I kept saying that eggs were going to be being sold in October, because they're not going to be being sold in October, are they? They're going to be being sold in November. I don't know why I kept having October in my head. Because that's obviously not the case, and everything else is being sold at the end of the year, the beginning of next year, and so on and so forth. The good news is that the sunflowers have been harvested. Now, I thought I said I got 4,500 litres off this, but I got 3,600 litres off it this time. So I'm assuming perhaps I got 3,500 off it. And my brain is just as fuzzy as always. So we got 3,600 litres off this. It wasn't quite at 100%, it was at 98%. Now, the other thing is, I'm now preparing this, and this is something you can do with tractors in case you didn't know. You can run two tools on a tractor. So I've got a mulcher on the front, and I've got the subsoiler on the back. So killing two birds with one stone. So you could do the same with, oh, I don't know, you could have a mulcher or you could have some kind of a, well, I don't know if it works with these. These things don't necessarily always push, but you could have a tool on the front and a stone picker on the back, or whatever. You can mix and match and do all the bits and pieces you need. Essentially what I'm saying is you don't need to think about a tractor as always pulling a tool when it can indeed push a tool. So there you go. So that's what's happening over here. Nothing happening with the animals. That's fine. Come and have a look at the trees. The trees are starting to get interesting. We've got a few trees, not all the trees, but we have got a few trees. So we've still got the, I think this is the Robert Downey serviceberry. So I think we got everything else. This is our cypress. We have here our American elm. We have here a couple of other things that haven't quite come up yet. Three of them. Can't remember what they are. I'm pretty sure we've got the willow, and we've got the oak, which is fine, and then we've got the pines, which also haven't come up. But yeah, it's starting to look interesting. It's starting to look very, very interesting, huh? This is how they come up. Very interesting. So we finished off with the grapes. Now it's not telling me that I need to do anything with the grapes, so I'm just leaving them for now. And I'll leave them for now until they do tell me that I do need something. Obviously there'll be a pre-pruner at some point and everything else. Now, I had a look at this. It said plow, you remember? So I did plow it. I got the little subsoiler plow thing that's in the pack, and I ran up and down, and it says that everything's good, and it now says that it's... and I ran the fertilizer up and down, so it now says fertilize 50%. But this grass is still here, won't go away. Can't mulch it, can't mow it, can't plow it, can't do anything with it. So it's right here for now, and until something changes, I'm not messing around with my grapes. So they're all there, which is great, and you can see the line where we obviously went up and down it. I'll explain in a minute how that looks on the map. The cotton's growing good. It is now ready to go. So that is something that we're going to get onto in a minute. We're going to get onto the cotton harvest, which is great. We've got the sunflowers going. We've got the cotton next. And we got our wheat, which is still growing. And the wheat will be a long, long time away. So I'm also doing a couple of contracts. There's another contract here, which is for sunflowers, which is great. He's doing fine, and I've got a guy over here doing sugar beet, which is also fine. And in fact, he's going to be full right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and load up with this guy, who should hopefully stop before he gets to the end of this row. Beet, we're never going to. Yeah, we'll fill this wagon, that's for sure. And then I'll need to take it where I need to take it to, but I want to talk to you before I do that. So we'll just free this guy up a little bit so he can carry on, and then we'll talk about production and stuff that I wanted to talk about. So that's that guy, and he'll need to go. He'll need to go and drop his stuff off wherever he's dropping his stuff off at. So you remember the grapes? right? So this is the grape processing unit, and I have bought the grape processing unit, and this is my grape juice, which is coming out of my grape processing unit. Now, I'll open my production chain. It gave me the option here to do two, raisins or grape juice. Initially, they were both set, and I didn't realize, so I'd done 10 liters of raisins before I was ready. But there you go. Pardon me. Anyway, I quickly switched on to grape juice. So grape juice is running. The recipe for grape juice is 5 to 4. So I'm getting 80% back. So I've got, obviously, I had quite a lot of liters in there. I've got 3,194 liters currently processed and in storage. I've got another 5,996 liters. So I will get 4 times that back, which is about another, nearly another, what is that? Nearly another, oh, blimey, 4/5, 4,000. So I should have about 7,000-ish liters of grape juice, which is fine when it comes time to sell it. So essentially, that's how production works. Very similar to the tomatoes in the greenhouse. You choose your recipe. It tells you how much it takes. It tells you how many cycles you get a month. You get 1,296 per month. So in about another 4 or 5 months, that'll all be processed, which is jolly good. I'll hopefully sell as much as I can at that time and move on. And that's essentially it with all the production buildings. So that is that, and that is that. Is this guy stopped too? No, he's still going. The money situation. So I did say when money gets tight. So if we go and have a look at our finances, you can see that our finances are going down and down and down. Ever in the red, ever in the red, because I'm buying things and I'm spending money and all the rest of it. And like I said, this is a showcase of all the things you can do, not necessarily the best way to make money, right? So if I find myself here at $273,176. Now, you will see there at the bottom, there's a square. It says you can borrow in $5,000 lots. You do have to repay that, and there is a loan interest. You can see there in the bottom, it says loan interest. It's fine, but I mean, it's such a small amount, $5,000 lots. What can you really get with $5,000? Some of those pieces of machinery you can't even hire. You can't even borrow for $5,000. So it's such a minuscule amount. I don't know why they set it at such a small amount. It also doesn't tell you what the interest rate is, and I don't know. Sorry, off the top of my head, there are probably people who do know. You need to go and have look that up. So it is a bit of a nuisance that you have that and you have that issue. But you can borrow money, so you can say to yourself, "Yeah, look, I've got $5,000," and you see now there's a loan which says I'm now owing $5,000, and it will take money off that, and there'll be interest accrued and all the rest of it, and you can choose to pay it off whenever you want. Say repay, so I can repay it back again right now, which is fine. That's the game way to make money. That's the vanilla way to make money. There is a mod which can make you money, and it's down here under construction. And if you go to production and you go right to the end of production, no, is it buildings? It's not factories. Buildings. It's not sheds. I really feel like it was production. Factories. Selling goods? No. Oh man. It's tools. It's not tools. Generators. My word. Sorry. So if you go to production generators, which is a weird place to put it, but if you do put it there, there's these two things called government subsidy. Now it's a mod, right? And this one's ridiculous. I think this one is ridiculous. This is government subsidy. You place this sign, which is this sign here, which says government subsidy on it. You put it on your farm, and you get $8,400,000 a month as a government subsidy. That's just an insane amount of money. An absolute insane amount of money. You know, you could just buy up the entire map with that kind of money. 100 million a year. It's just mental. I'm not really for that. The other one is municipal subsidy, which is a little bit more manageable, which is 8,400 a month, so 1/10 of that. So this gets you 100,000 here, which makes a bit more sense. I mean, I still think it's an awful lot of money as a subsidy, but you can, if you want, if you're feeling the pinch, and if you're finding the game a bit of a struggle, money-wise, and you're not sure what you're doing, you need a bit of a hand, you can use either government subsidy or municipal subsidy. If you're doing government subsidy, I mean, I don't know, do it once for a month. 8,400,000 would just keep you going for a very long time. I mean, I started off at 1.5 million, and you know, we haven't gotten through all of that. But I mean, I'm not going all out crazy, and you might want to go all out crazy. You might want to landscape a whole new thing. Depends on the type of game that you want to play, I suppose. So it's entirely up to you. But that's the situation for money. The vanilla game has a bank account which pays you a very, very, well, you can borrow a very, very small amount, which doesn't seem to make an awful lot of sense to me that you have this very small amount. Or you have the mod, which is government subsidy, which certainly the government subsidy bit seems highly excessive, and the municipal subsidy seems a lot more, well, we'll call it realistic, shall we? Anyway, so it's October. We're harvesting some things for some people and ourselves, because obviously this field will have leftover sunflower seeds, and we'll add that to our stock of sunflower seeds, and that will form part of our haul at the end of the year. And we'll certainly have sunflower seeds that we can sell, which won't be too bad. We're obviously preparing the field up there for the next thing, which is the next thing that I'm going to be doing, which is jolly good. I need to sort out the sugar beet guys. Our grape production is working fine. He's still working fine. The animals are all working fine. And in November we've got some eggs to sell. So we've got a few things to do. So what I'll probably do is I'll probably bring you in again in November-ish. Let's see, what's my planting calendar look like for the rest of the year? Is there anything I can plant at the end of the year? No, I can't really plant anything. I could plant some barley, but I don't want to do barley. So our field, once it's prepared, is probably going to sit fallow for a little bit while we think about what's going to be the next thing. And then eggs in November, and I'll probably bring you in briefly for eggs in November, and then probably as we work our way through the end of the year, as we work our way through some of the stock, and you know, we've got some wheat, so we'll sell that in December. Sorry, we don't have some wheat. Yes, we do have some wheat. We have some barley, which we'll sell in December. We've got some canola. We'll also sell next month. Sunflowers isn't until February. I don't think we'll keep any of the sugar beet from the sugar beet harvest. I think we'll just sell it as is. Cotton, we're gonna bale that, and we're gonna keep that until February, and we're going to get rid of our eggs in November. We're going to get rid of our silage in January. We're going to get rid of our honey in February. We're going to get rid of our grape juice in January. We're going to get rid of our lettuce in January, our tomatoes in January, and our strawberries in December. So what I'll probably do is I'll probably only bring you in really to show you selling stuff and show you what we got, because I'm not going to be planting anything new for a while. And also, when these poplars are ready, and I don't know when they will be ready, but I'll bring you in for that, because you haven't seen the poplar harvesting gear, and we'll do the poplar harvesting gear. But I'm not bringing you in for the cotton, because you have seen the cotton harvesting gear. We're going to be using the case, obviously. We're going to be making square bales, and I'm going to be dumping the square bales somewhere, and we're going to hang on to them for a little bit like grass bales or silage bales. They don't go off. You can store them somewhere, and then when I need to, I'll bring the bale lifter down, and we'll lift them up and sell them. Okay, so there's a few things happening and a few things going on. So, but it'll be a disparate episode. We're coming out at the end of the showcase now. There's very little left to show you. We'll do the forestry probably next year when the trees get a little bit bigger. We'll do the auto-loading of the greenhouse, and I'll show you some of the issues with perhaps auto-loading the greenhouse and how we can or cannot go about making that work. The silage selling and everything else I think is pretty straightforward. I'll show you the poplar. We'll probably go through the pre-pruning of the grapes and getting the grapes ready when it's time to do that. And out here on this field, well, there's only one crop left to do, no big surprises. We've got to do olives. So I'll do olives out here on the front, and we'll see how we go with olives, but olives won't be ready to plant until next year, and that'll probably be the last of all of the major crop types, really. The only thing I haven't really done to any grand degree is cows, I suppose, and there's also horses. So we might wrap up next year. We'll probably give ourselves a little bit of money from the municipal subsidy, and we'll get some cows done, and we'll get some horses done, and we'll go through managing cows and managing horses. You know, pigs, don't feel the need to do pigs. Pigs is pretty much the same. You know, not much of a surprise, but there is some specialist gear that you have to deal with when it comes to cows, and there's some very specific things you have to do when you are managing horses. So yeah, so all of that, I think what we'll do is I'll call you in bits and pieces, but it'll be short little cut-ins, and it'll probably cover an awful long time. So this episode, when you see it, will have covered an awful lot of in-game time, which probably means it's been ongoing for quite some while. But stick with it, and I'll see you then. Right, Cura team, welcome back. It's November, and a couple of things. We're going to go and we're going to sort out the eggs. You'll also see I have a lot of money, like a lot of money. I had to do that. I had to do that because this is not, as I said, this is not a playthrough. This is not an explanation of the best ways to make money. I'm not going to do that. This is just a showcase. So there's a couple of things, a few things actually that I need to do. There's forestry, which I've already mentioned. There's the poplars, which need to be harvested eventually, which I've already mentioned. There's olives, which I need to sort out, which I have already mentioned. What I have not mentioned is sugarcane. I need to do some sugarcane. I'm going to do that out in the back field where the cotton was. And there is also cows and horses. So I decided that given that this is actually a showcase and not a playthrough, that there's absolutely no harm in me just cranking up the money with government subsidy and getting along with this. So what I have done here, and I'll show you, is these will pick up automatically. And I did tell you with this auto load trailer, it will pick up the things it's nearest to. So I'll be able to pick up the eggs and then reverse out. I emptied around the glass house. Some more stuff has come through, which is just fine. Some more strawberries. So I cranked out a whole bunch of strawberries, cranked out a whole bunch of tomatoes, and cranked out some lettuce, which is kind of surprising. This is about, I think it's about a year's worth. So this is like a year's worth of strawberries, which is like not bad. These are a stack of 4 each, and they're 500 liters. This is a year's worth of tomatoes, and they're also 500 liters. And this is what amounts to a year's worth of lettuce, which is also 500 liters. So, you know, I guess you may as well do this. I don't think you produce any less strawberries because you're doing this, but what's the pricing? So the pricing on down here, the pricing on lettuce is maximum 19, on tomatoes 1,000, and on strawberries 500. So what did we say? 19. So 4 times. So you'd want 4 times as much. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and there's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. So there's not quite 4 times as much strawberries as there are lettuce. And lettuce was 2,000, that is 1,000, so you'd need twice as much of those. One, and it's hard to see here, but that's 1, 2. Oh, they all look the same. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 versus 6. So there are twice as much tomatoes. So, and I think I lost some or sold some. So it looks like actually, arguably, it all ends up being the same. You get twice as many tomatoes as lettuces and twice as many strawberries as tomatoes, etc. Because I've still got a couple to go. So yeah, whatever, up to you. So yeah, I had to pull those out of the way because when I'm using the autoload trailer, I don't want to wreck anything. And we've got a whole bunch of eggs, which is like it. Yes, okay, it's a year, but only 280, and I didn't start out with 280. You know, I started out with a much smaller amount. So let's use the autoload trailer, and we'll just work on up, and then we'll go and see where we're taking them and see what kind of a price we get, right? This takes a bit of time. Right, so there you go, 5,735 liters. And for the eggs wise, which is up here, wherever you are, where are you? We are going to take this to the bakery. So Le Bakery is, I believe, is it this one? That is the bakery down on the main drag. So let's take this down to the bakery and let's get an indication of what this is like. Now, I guess if you're going to be a livestock farmer, you know, and you're going to do eggs and you're going to do chickens and you're going to do whatever, you know, you're going to do lamb, you're going to do cows, you wouldn't just have one, right? You would invest in like 10 or 20. You know, you'd be looking at a lot of places to feed chickens. You wouldn't be looking at just one. So you'd be looking to, you know, and you'd maximize your chickens in there, right? So this is not the deposit point. The deposit point's around the back. Ooh, around the side. Overloading eggs. Oh, that must be the, if you own the bakery, that's the production point. Right, here we go. Let's see how much we get for eggs. Ooh, 14,836. So a near year's worth of eggs, 14,836. So I mean, whatever. It's not a lot of money, but like I said, you'd fill up with chickens, and you'd probably fill up with the cheaper younger chickens to start with, and then you'd say the heck with that. You've now got 400 chickens in one barn, but you might have like I said, a bunch of chicken barns. So you're just making tons and tons and tons of eggs, and you're storing them, and then you sell them when the time is right. Right? I mean, I guess that's the idea. So there you go. Is there any of this other product that needs to be sold this month? I don't think so, because I think these are all end of the year stuff. Honey is February. We got grape juice. Grape juice is January, and that's January, and that's January, and that's December. So we have a bit to do, and I'm going to do some stuff. Now that I've got a little bit of money, I'm going to do some stuff around the farm, and I'm going to get ready for cows, and I'm going to get ready for horses. And I'll bring you back when I'm all set up with that, and also when it is possibly time to be doing something else. We cannot do, like I said, we cannot do sugarcane until March. We can't do olives until March. So that's really as far as we can go with that. And the wheat is still on the way, because I want to show you wheat harvesting, and I want to show you that. And the poplars will harvest when they're ready, and I don't know when they'll be ready, but when they're ready, they'll be ready. They're still too small at the minute. They go big and brown and bushy at the end, as you've seen. So yeah, so we'll be back in a little bit, and maybe we'll be talking about cows, and maybe we'll be talking about horses. I'll see you soon. And again, welcome back. A few things have changed. We got a couple more trees popping up. We have this birch, which has appeared. Pardon me. My pine trees still aren't doing much. The vines have gone this color. It doesn't say to use the pre-pruner yet, but I might get one down here and give it a try. I don't think it's going to hurt. I think that'll be fine. And we've got the trees, but look, what is over here? So this is cows, and this is horses. Now this is not just any old cows, because there are a number of different ways you can do cows. The paddocks out here. I haven't bought the cows yet. I thought I'd bring you guys in to build the cows. Oi, get off my land! This is my land. You ain't allowed to be here. Get off. I'll set my dog on you. Yeah, this is the big and expensive one. So if you go down to your construction, down here, and you go and have a look at your animals, and you go and have a look at your cows, which is where we are. There's a cow pasture, which is fine. You don't need buildings. You can just do pasture. There's also some mods. I think there was a mod that I used in FS19, which is a fenceless pasture mod, which is it sets a pasture but there's no fence around it. Gives that more of a feeling of an open field. It allows you to basically go around, and you could go around if you wanted, and you can do like a higgledy-piggledy fence, because these all come with like square areas attached to them. But you could do a higgledy-piggledy fence, and you could do this fenceless pasture in the middle, and the cows would stay within a certain area, but it looks like it's a natural field, or a more natural field. Anyway, so you can just do cow pasture, so you could have just square fields. They're about this size. So where are we? So yeah, so they're about that size, which is, it's not massive, but it's not, it's not exactly small either. So, you could put a string of them together, but it starts to look a little bit like a grid. Then you have the three different kinds of barns. You have the cow barn that holds 45 cows, you have the cow barn that holds 80 cows, and you have this, which is the cow barn that holds 80 cows, and it has what they call the feeding robot. Now, cows need they need something called total mixed ration, right? And total mixed ration is a blend. So if we go and have a look, I think they cover total mixed ration on the farming basics. I don't think I had a look at it. It used to be a lot harder, but it's a lot better now than it was. Did I cover it here? Cows. Here you say. So cows need grass, hay, and total mixed ration. Um, total mixed ration is you find somewhere, and there's a whole section. Here we are. Total mixed ration. Sorry, this controller is on the duff. So total mixed ration is a blend, and it's a particular blend, and it doesn't go into the details here, but there's a particular ratio, and I'm sorry, I can't remember what it is, but you can look it up. You can buy total mixed ration wagons, and they will blend the stuff for you, and you can either chuck in a bale of silage, a bale of hay, and a bale of grass, and it will automatically blend it together in the right order. Um, by chucking it in through the top. Like you just drop it in through the top. That's what I had in FS19. Or I believe there's other ones that will actually hoover stuff off the ground. It's not in here. It's didn't I? It is in here. It's in here. It is in here. Animals. So this is a forage mixer TMR wagon. So they look great. They look like giant hoovers. They're really funny. But basically, this will pick up the necessary stuff off the ground and mix it into TMR, total mix ration, and then you can drop it off, and you're all good to go. And there's different ones that do different things. They're not. I think this is. Why is this one so much better? This one is bigger. This might, bearing in mind I've got some mods, so the vanilla stuff might be, pretty straightforward. It's size. 13.1 ton, 14, so it's 17 cubes, holds 17 cubes, 22 cubes, 25 cubes, 26 cubes. So they're more expensive based on the volume of TMR that they hold for you, which is fine, right? So you can go and do that. You can make TMR. It's not that bad, it's pretty easy. I was pretty terrified about it when I started, but because I think when I started it, they just like you had to work out the math yourself. And if any of you know me, you know my math is absolutely dreadful. But these are all I believe these are all automatic now. So basically, it will only pick up as much grass as it needs, and then it will only pick up as much straw as it needs, and then it will only pick up as much silage as it needs, and so on. Now, what I don't know is this mineral feed thing. Now, there's a... Well, we'll go around here. All right, yeah, this is a barn. This is a barn. So, as you can see, you use more silage. So, there's a big area for silage. There's an area for straw and an area for grass. And you can see how I fed these. So you go and you buy, if you're buying, if you're generating this stuff yourself, then that's also fine, and that's a good way to utilize excess produce that you make. So if you have paddocks of grass, you might turn some of that grass into silage, say 2/3 into silage, and leave 1/3 as grass, and you then have straw that you might get from wheat, and you're like, well, I've got all this excess grass and straw, and I'm making silage. Why don't I milk cows as well? And you could do that. Or you could just be a cow farmer and say, to heck with that, I'm just going to buy this stuff in, which is fine. You can buy bales at the shop, and I would suggest the round bales. And the reason I say that is because the bale loaders operate differently. So when they discharge. So the circular bale loader, which is this thing here, discharges at a slight angle. It sort of pushes them out, and you can lie them on the ground, right? This one, which is the square one, tilts them fully upright and creates a stack, and that's square bales. You can't fit a stack in here. It's higher than the door. I know because I measured it. I tried. So the round bales work better because you can kind of slide them in, and this is the loading zone here, kind of. You can't see it. I believe it. I believe it's at least the concrete. It might stick out a little bit further, but basically these will stay here. And as the grass is used up, the the machine will, or the game will recognize there's grass here, and it will convert it back into loose grass, which will then the robot will use to feed the cows. And the same with the straw bales, and the same with the silage bales. So all I need to do is take one of my tractors, get a loader, buy some bales. You can only buy 8 at a time. Buy 8 bales, bring them down here, load it in, and away we go. Mineral feed comes in pallets and bags, and I don't fully. This door does not open. I believe this door belongs to where the robot is. So the robot's gonna pull all this stuff together and do its thing. And hopefully we'll see that working. And then the feed goes into the barn, and and it automatically goes into the feed troughs where the cows will be, and that's all hunky dory and hunky dory. And you can bring stuff in here, which I think is straw for the bedding needs to come in here as well. So I'll probably need to do the straw for the bedding to keep them happy. And then you have these stations over here, and you know they're somehow automatically milked, and milk is produced. Open this gate, right? And you get a couple of things. You will get milk here. So this is where your milking chamber is. This is, and all the rest of it. You get this, and you'll get little pails of milk. Not pails, but the big urns. What are they called? Oh, I don't know. The big tall things full of milk coming out here, and then you pick them up on a wagon and you take them away. And out the other side is another very useful byproduct, and it comes over here down the pipe. What you think might come out of pipe? What comes out the pipe, my old man, is slurry, right? And slurry is pretty good because it's a byproduct of cows, but it's also a fertilizer. And you can get a slurry spreading tanker, and you can drag that behind your tractor, and you can go out and you can fertilize with that, right? And that's what you can do. Don't mind the state of the groundwater, nitrogen, phosphorus, eutrophication of the local riverways, like what's down here. Don't you worry about that. What we need is crops. So, yeah, so there you go. So that's cows. So the mineral feed thing, I might have to. I don't remember buying mineral feed for my cows. I'm not sure it's compulsory, but I will need to get some straw in there. I've got some spare bales down at the bottom I can sort out. So let's have a look at cows. So what have we got? I think this is all cosmetic. I could be completely freaking wrong, of course. There's well, in terms of the difference certainly between the milking cows. This is a brown Swiss, is for dairy farming and produces milk. The Holstein, as you know, is for dairy farming and produces your common or garden cow. This is your pretty cow. This is your cow. Your Angus cow, your Aberdeen Angus cow, is for meat. So you wouldn't put this in a milking shed because you're not going to get milk really out of it. It's really for meat, okay? Same with that one, and same with the limousine, or whatever you want to call it. Now, as far as I know, the limousine is slightly better at producing meat than the Angus, but hey, look, I'm pretty sure there's a whole load of stuff out there about the relative merits of various different cows and things. So we also want to be producing milk pretty quickly. So from our perspective, we're going to buy some cows. We can hold 80 cows, and I have absolutely no problem with money. So what we're going to do is we're going to buy a few cows that are Holstein, and we're going to buy a few that are brown Swiss, just so that we have a bit of a herd, so that's fine. We'll do that, and that's great. And we'll go up to the brown Swiss. So these should also start producing milk relatively soon. Right, and there you go. So we now have a full herd of cows. Is this going to do its thing? When it does its thing, I don't think I have to turn it on or switch it on. Do I? I think it does it automatically. Maybe it won't do it because it's got no mineral feed. There's cows wandering around, and there's a whole bunch of cows out there. So I'll keep an eye on this and see if I need to get if mineral feed is an absolute must. Because I would have expected there's like literally no liters of food in there, so I would have expected this to start running. So I guess mineral feed is going to be required. So that's hunky-dory. I'll go sort this out. Now, down here we have horses, right? This is stables. This is stables. And I chucked a bunch of hay down here. I thought the horses would need more hay. They don't need more hay. So what do horses need? Well, hay. Hay is what horses need. So you can see here when we look, it's got straw. 3,200 liters of straw and 4,000 liters of food. Now the food for these guys comes in pallets and bags, and it's over here, and it's oats, right? So again, if you're growing oats and you have spare oats, great. You can have horses. If you don't, you just buy it. Just buy it, bags, pallets, whatever you want. And as you can see, it's quite low here, so I used a little green tip, the sec or whatever it's called, trailer, and I brought it down here, and I just tipped some oats in, and we got some oats, and I brought some straw over, thinking we would need quite a lot. You can actually load bales in there. I didn't think you could, but if you have a look, I pushed these bales out. This bale of straw is 5,000 liters, and this bale is only 3,457 liters, and that's because I put it in there, and it took some straw out. So you don't need quite as much straw for horses. I can buy horses, and you got a variety of different horses you can buy. I can have 8. I can have 8 horses. I quite like the Pinto. I might get 4 of those, and I quite like the Palomine, so I'll get 4 of those too, right? And so now I've got Danny, Poncho, Verona, Rusty, Quiver, Willow, Dallas, and Luna, which actually they're not bad names to be fair. I think they're pretty good names. You can't go in here. I'm pretty sure you probably can you rename him? I bet you can. I bet you absolutely can rename it. I probably have to open the animal dialogue box. Go have a look at my horses. Yeah, rename. Square. You can't rename your cows, but you can rename your horses. You know, so that's fine. You know, speedy, sporty, posh, whatever. Call them whatever you like. You know, oh look, they're pretty little horses. They're pretty little horses and things. And you need to ride them. You need to ride them. You need to ride them, and they need to be ridden. So this is the thing with horses, and horses are a little bit more unusual. I can't. Right, you can stop now. Walk. Oh, so you see this says riding 3%, riding so on. So the idea is that horses increase value if you ride them regularly. So you don't just put them to one side, because I mean, you know, the issue is how do you make money out of a horse? You know, you're not going to milk it, and you're not going to eat it unless you're in France. Oh, you just walked through me. So the idea is that you have to take these horses out, you have to exercise them, and as you exercise them, they gain more value, and you only need to ride them to 100%. Now, I think possibly my good man Mr. C Money reckons it's every day. I'm not sure it's every day, but if it is every day, keeping yourself, as you can see how long it takes. I mean, I can definitely trot, and I can canter, but I don't think you can take them out of the paddock, right? So there's no out, as you can see. We're all in here. So I don't think you'll be racing your horses. There's probably a mod you probably can, but for right now I know nothing about it, so I'm gonna get off that horse. So there you go. So Horse Willow is back in the stable. So I don't know. Maybe you can. Maybe look, here's the gate. Yeah, there's a gate. So maybe you can take them out. And I've just piled all the straw in the way. So I can see through that horse. That was a bit weird. Can I see through you? No, I can't walk through the horse, but the horse can walk through me. All right, fine. So maybe you can take them out for a little jolly old trot. What I will do is I will have to move these straw bales out of the way, and we can open that gate and we'll take one out for a little jolly, shall we? And that'll be that. This guy, I had an AI worker do this. Look at the state of it. You're supposed to have ploughed up my field and you've left weeds and... the AI workers. And I'm still waiting on trees. I can't believe I'm still waiting on trees. So that is cows and that is horses. What I'll need to do is I'll need to go get some mineral feed, and I'll load up some mineral feed here for my cows, and I'll need to bring some straw up and put some straw inside the building for my cows, which is fine, and I'll sort those out, and then you should be able to see the machine running, and I'll bring you in so you can show it. Kind of I think there used to be, was it this one or another one, there was like a door came down. Maybe it doesn't, but anyway, this opens and the thing goes along and it picks up and it drops down and it picks up this stuff. At least it should do if it's the same one that I think it is. That's what this whole rail is about. And it brings it back. So this claw comes out and descends, picks up stuff, brings back, drops it in, goes along to the next one, picks it up, brings it in. And I think there used to be like a transparent roller door that came down. But anyway, I will go and sort out some mineral feed, and I will go and sort out freeing that gate up while the sun is going down, and we'll sort all that out, and I'll bring you back when we're ready to go, shall I? And I'll see you then. Here we go. Look at this. Look at this thing. Away it goes. So it was and I might make a mess of this because I've left big bales of hay in there. So I don't know where it's going. I might push these bales of hay out. It's got to feed the cows. It's crazy, isn't it? It's crazy. This robot. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what's going to happen when it's these bales. It's just going to keep pushing them. Yeah, it just doesn't care. It doesn't care about bales. So that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. This isn't what this is for, I don't think, because I've got straw 0. So I don't know what's going on. I'll have to clear these bales out of here, because they're obviously not working. So we've got this machine doing its thing and doing its thing. Hello, Bessie, Jessie, whatever your name is. So I'll tidy up around here and see about whatever this is for. Straw? I thought it would have been for straw. Because, you know, stuff. But it's been a while since I've done cows. So I'll find out what that's for you. We'll let this little robot do its little thing. It's a lot better than the last one, which was the last one that was just like they got fed on that side of the wall. And it just like ran up and down the side, but it's a little bit more involved. And that's it. So yeah, so cows and horses, and that's that. Cows and horses and things to do. So yeah, I got some stuff to sort out, and I'll be bringing you back when I've got some stuff to sell. Yeah, so I'll see you soon. Do drop a like, do subscribe to the channel, do flick me any notes, mods, things, anything, hints, tips. If you know what that's about, let me know, and I'll see you all again real soon. Ta-ta for now. PlayStation